So you've been looking into a sporty two-door compact coupe like the Miata or the 86 platform? Well, you've come to the right place. Am I him or what?
What's up, you guys? Welcome back to another Crantics video. Today we're going to be going over the differences between the Miata and the 86, two of the most popular sports coupes available out there right now. We're going to be going over the looks, the modability, daily drivability, the power, the handling, everything that you need to know before making a decision on which one to get. We're going to be all unpacking that in this video today. So sit back, relax, let's get started. All right, so starting off, we're gonna be talking about the differences in power between both the Miata as well as the 86. Both of them are gonna include a 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. Differences are this one is a inline 4, mine's a boxer. But the BRZ is gonna be pushing 200 horsepower at 7,000 RPMs. Of course, that's crank, but 200 at 7,000. And it's also gonna include a whopping 151 pound-feet of torque.
So the Miata revs out at 7,300. So it's a little bit more than the BRZ. But this one's holding 181 horsepower, 151, same as the BRZ pound-feet of torque for it. For the 0 to 60 time, this one is around 5.7, 5.8, where the BRZ
6.8.
So the major reason why the BRZ is holding that time for the 0 to 60 is basically because of the massive, and I mean massive, torque dip that it takes. You could talk a little bit more about it since you drive it all the time.
All right, so in the BRZ, unlike the Miata, Matt let me drive his car. Very grateful for that. His car, literally throughout the entire power band, you will never experience any torque dip. The car just keeps pulling. 86, however, I would love to say the same, but unfortunately in this car, there's a big torque dip between 2,400 RPMs, which is where you'd be able to start to do a pull. Between 24 and 4,000 RPMs, you get absolutely no power whatsoever. It's just, you're flooring it, you're going nowhere. 4,000 RPMs hits, then it starts pulling. But yeah, that's the power differences between the two. Unfortunately, 86 takes the L in this, but that leads us into the next segment, which is going to be handling. That's where both cars are going to be very great at. All right, now talking about handling between the two cars, both of them are very more than capable of being stock for stock, going up to any canyon, any back road, anything. They're more than capable of giving you the absolute most fun out of any drive. But the thing that I love about the 86 the most is the fact that the car is very planted. You know, again, like I was saying, stock, but once you throw coils in these, they're very, very planted to the ground, as not to mention fatter wheels as well and tires. That shit helps so much. But not only that, but the body roll could be a little bit better. Like, I feel like Matt will talk about in a second, but his feels a lot less like it's gonna die. Hold on. Yeah, body roll could be a little bit better. However, the one thing that I really love about this car is the steering. The steering is right in the middle of not being too light, not being too heavy. It's like literally right in the middle. It gives you the perfect driving steering response. You feel everything. It's super heavy. So I don't know. Get into an 86, test drive it. You'll know what I mean.
The Miata has a lot of similar qualities to the 86 platform. So basically for the Miata, definitely on the canyons, you can really go even stock. I would say that stock, there is body roll. I don't know about like the 86s specifically, but for the Miata, there's definitely the body roll. Like you can feel it going, even like when you're on the freeway, kind of like making a turn, like on a ramp or something like that, you could feel it, but it's definitely still really, really easy to make those turns. Like if you're making a right turn and you could take it really fast, like it's just great. But yeah, there is definitely a lot of body roll. Obviously, again, coils and wheels can definitely help out a lot with that. Like I didn't take my car to the canyons until I got coilovers, but that shit felt crazy. I was like, whoa, I could turn this fast? I didn't even know, bro. It was fucking insane. But yeah, and then for the Miata, the steering is electronic, so you kind of lose some of that. How can I say this? Like you're not as connected probably as you would be with something like the 86's steering, but that still doesn't matter as much because you're still able to make those turns and you could still feel them all the way through. So it's pretty bussin'. Another thing too, when we were on the canyon, we did also figure out that my lights actually turn when you turn. So that's pretty cool. So I could see the road basically. I'm not sure if this is just because I have the Grand Touring model or if it also is with probably not with the Sport model, but I'm not sure if the Club has that as well. But yeah, that's really helpful. At nighttime especially, when you can see everything. It's like crazy. But yeah, that's enough about the handling. Next, we're going to be talking about the looks. All right, so for the looks, the look of the Miata, definitely the most aggressive looking Miata ever, just because the older ones are definitely more rounded, especially like the NA, NB. The NC, it does kind of share some qualities that are similar, but this one definitely more aggressive. Like the way the hood kind of comes into the center, got the pointy headlights, the way the fenders flare out is also pretty aggressive, especially also the back. Like when you're looking at it from the back, it is a little bit stubby. I think I've mentioned it before, but yeah, the fenders really make it look pretty good because they kind of come out a little bit diagonally a little bit. So, but yeah, this one's definitely the most aggressive looking Miata, and I really like it for that, to be honest. But the best part about it is going to be the drop top. So for the drop top, especially for us, we live in California, so this weather is pretty much perfect for a two-door coupe drop top. For this one, I got the soft top. You could drop it at any time. You just do a latch. It takes less than a second probably, and it's just really, really easy. Basically, whenever I'm not on the freeway, I'm riding around with the top down, unless it's like a million degrees outside, which it never is because we're in California. So it's pretty good. Another thing I would also like to say is the interior design is really nice. The interior definitely has like a lot of leather qualities to it. Like I got the leather seats. The middle's kind of like a leather thing. The interior is just like a really nice looking. I mean, if you've seen all of Mazda's cars, like even the Mazda 3, but like the CX-50, they're all like kind of similar in interior design. So pretty much nothing has changed. They kind of just bring those same qualities into the inside of the Miata.
All right, moving on to the 86. Of course, this is going to be a two-door coupe as well. No drop top. I really wish this thing, well, I don't know how I look with the drop top, but I really love that fact about the Miata, that it is a drop top. It's like an S2K, perfect cars. But the 86 is also a very good looking car on the other hand. Of course, right here, we have the first gen. Andrew, on the other hand, like you've seen on the channel, he has the second gen. So of course, you're kind of comparing between the two, but you know, you can do your own research on the second gen if you'd like. But the first gen, this thing, perfect body style. It's super aggressive. Only thing lacks the power. So all show, no grow, but this thing is very mean looking. Of course, from the factory, it doesn't come with very much, which is probably because the manufacturers or the developers, designers, they probably all knew that this car was going to be modded to absolute shit. So with that being said, once you get all the mods on, wheels, tint, spoiler, diffuser, everything, car looks amazing. Even stock 2016 is pretty cool. I really like the newer models, like 2017 and up, at least for the first gen. They'll have that little wing on the back.
That wing is actually so sick. My favorite part about your car actually is the tail lights, because the tail lights are just so cool because they're like dotted. Bro, it's so sick. I wish like the Miata had something like that, but bro, that shit's crazy.
Yeah, that's gonna segment us into the next thing, which is gonna be modability. Let's talk about that now.
All right, so for the Miata, this car has a good support system basically for modifications. There's a lot that you can do with this car. I've seen some pretty crazy builds like online and in person. For example, like this one, I know they have the wide body kit, the Rocket Bunny Pandem wide body kit. That looks crazy. I saw one on the freeway one time. I was freaking out, dude. I was like, yo. And then he like rolls down the window. He goes, I was like, what the? That was crazy. It was just insane. But yeah, that one has like the big ass fenders and then like the big ass wing. But besides that, you could obviously, there's a lot of axle back or exhaust systems that you could do for the Miata. They also have obviously coilovers. I'm running the Meister R, but I know there's also like, what is it, Öhlins that people get. I think that's the one that people really like on the Miata. It's a little bit more expensive. They got the wheels, obviously. The wheels for the Miata are a little harder to shop for because I know the bolt pattern's 4x100. So a lot of older cars use that same bolt pattern, so the wheel will actually be smaller. Like these wheels right now are 17 inches, so if I wanted something that was similar size or bigger, probably not bigger for the Miata, but like a similar size, it's kind of harder to get or to find, I guess, on a website or something like that. But besides that, there's a lot of stuff, like there's aero, you could do headers on here. For tuning, it is also a little bit harder, especially for this one because it's the ND2 model. Mine's a 2021. For 2018 and below, I think it's to 2016, that one's the ND1 platform. For that one, they cracked the ECU and they were able to mod it really easily, but the ND2 for some reason was a lot different. So EQTech was like, I already did the ND1, I don't really want to do the ND2. So it's a little bit harder to get a tune for it, but you can. I know there's Rev9 that does tuning, but there's also a lot of different other people and like probably companies that will tune your ND2. I think a lot of the times though, it does require you to just plug it in and then plug it into a laptop and put the tune in. I know like for Andrew's car, he could just plug it in and then do it on an app on his phone. For the Miata, it's probably a little little bit more difficult, but it is there. For turbos and superchargers, that is also there. I know they have the, what is it called, JDL? Yeah, JDL has a turbo kit for the Miata and a supercharger, I'm pretty sure, for the Miata. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can do to the Miata. It's really easy to mod, just because these cars have been out for a couple years now.
All right, I'm gonna stop you right there. Let's talk about the 86 now. So this car has probably the largest aftermarket support for any car out there. This thing has been out for I don't know how many years. It's been like already 10 years, I believe. So a little over 10 years. Yeah, probably like 11, I think. Yeah. But this car, literally anything you want done in the car, you'll find between many various different brands. If you want new headlights, taillights, headers, exhaust, literally anything your imagination can think of, like, I don't know, different internals for your engine. They got it. They literally got everything. Tuning is also super easy with this car. Of course, like I was mentioning, Ecotech can go OFT. There's a whole bunch of other different supports for tuning for this car. Literally, this thing was meant for car enthusiasts. It was never made hard to modify or anything like that. So literally, this is the perfect car. If you want to go ahead and customize your car, literally perfect for you.
Build it how you want.
So now that you have your car all modified out with everything, all the specs that you want, it's all wide bodied, you got a turbo kit in there, tuned, everything. It's time to talk about the daily drivability of the cars. Are they actually that great of a daily? So getting into the daily drivability and just comfort of the cars in general, of course, you got the Miata, it's a lot smaller. The 86 is a little bit bigger of a car. In my opinion, the 86 is honestly a perfect daily for whatever you need. It's pretty spacious inside. You are not cramped whatsoever. You even got back seats for passengers, although it's not very comfortable. Like, you can ask Matt, it's not very comfortable, right?
Nah, bro, I was low-key sitting sideways.
Yeah, it's not very comfortable for people over my height, like 5'5". I'm 6 foot, by the way. But back seats are there if you really need them. Of course, you can always put the back seats down to give yourself more room for, I don't know, groceries or anything else you might want to fit in the car. Of course, it's a two-door sports car, so you're not going to get a lot of space for, I don't know, a TV or something to haul over to your house. But I mean, that's what hatchbacks or SUVs, trucks are all for. So as far as daily driving, getting to work, going on road trips, this is honestly super comfortable. I've gone to Vegas, San Diego, no problems. I mean, seats in general, very comfortable. I don't have any complaints for this car, I'm gonna be completely honest. Talking about mileage, I get about, before I changed up my internals, I was getting like 24 miles per gallon average, which is actually pretty good. That's driving very conservatively. The 86 takes 13 gallons of gas, so again, 24 miles per gallon. And then once I got my engine modded out, now I'm getting around like 22 miles per gallon. So I mean, I'm taking a little bit of sacrifice, but it's still above the 20s, which is very good. 4-cylinder, 4 bangers, pretty good on gas mileage. So
all right, so for the Miata, this car is definitely more cramped. Like, the driver's seat is pretty cramped. I've heard people say, oh, I'm 6 feet and I like this car, which, okay, you know, you do you. But if I was 6 foot, I don't know if I could drive a Miata. Probably 6 foot or higher is like kind of the limit for you. Probably some similar to the 86 platform, but the 86 definitely has more room, like just leg room in general. The passenger side, there's like a bump, like kind of like a big ass bump, like right here. So it's pretty bad for that. And then obviously no back seats either, so you can't drive around anybody else. And then also the trunk space is pretty small. I know for the soft tops, they actually have a bigger opening than the hard tops do, or the RF. But yeah, it's a tiny car. You're not going to be like transporting anything crazy, but since it is a soft top, you have infinite roof height. So if you want to put a long thing on the passenger side, you definitely can do that. It's just kind of sus, to be honest. Like, it's kind of sketch. But yeah, for the daily drivability on the mileage is really, really good on this car. Right now, I'm getting 27.9 miles per gallon, which is crazy. That's a lot. I'm trying to get the 28, but honestly, I drive pretty normally most of the time. I do also like to do some spirited driving every once in a while, like probably at least once or twice a week. But even so, I still get 27.9, which is crazy. For the gallons, this one has 11.9 gallons. So I would say that probably these two are kind of similar because this one has more space. Like, this one has a bigger fuel tank, the Miata is a little bit smaller, but the Miata does get better mileage than the 86. So you're probably going to be filling going up around the same time for both of the cars. Is there anything else?
Sorry, real quick. I wanted to get into the insurance side of things because I'm pretty sure some of you guys are going to be kind of interested in that. What is the pricing for insurance? We will not get into specifically how much, but all I can say is that this Miata specifically is going to be a little bit more than the 86 only because this is classified as a sports car.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, it's going to be more expensive because this is technically classified as a sports car, being a two-seater, two-door sports car. This technically is not a sports car. Surprisingly, I don't know if most of you guys knew that.
It's too slow to be a sports car.
But yeah, this is technically not classified as a sports car because of the back seats. So again, the back seats are not useless. There's a reason. It's for insurance purposes. Your insurance can be a lot cheaper. Your insurance, your money, your wallet is going to be thanking you because it's a little bit cheaper. Also, getting a little bit into the pricing side of things as well. For a used 86, there's a full range that you can get these things in. You can probably go as cheap as maybe like $5,000, even cheaper maybe if you can find a little busted up one. But $5,000 all the way up into like the 20,000 range for a newer model of the first gens. Of course, second gens are going to be way more expensive. Those are going to be near like the $30,000 range depending on the mileage and stuff. Yeah, these cars are very affordable. The Miata on the other hand,
this one I got at around 25k, 26k. I say 26, 27 actually, and it's used. I bought it at 16,000 miles and it's 2021. So for that one, you can get them around that price, like 25 to 27. I probably wouldn't pay more than 27 actually. There's a lot of used ones on the market. You could just find them at probably any dealership or people buying on Facebook Marketplace also, or you know, wherever you shop for a used car. I think the ND2 is more worth it than the ND3, to be honest. Alright guys, that's about it. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys learned something about the Miata or the 86 platform. We really wanted to make this video in order for you guys to kind of make a decision if you guys are interested in something like this. But if you guys like the content that we're making, be sure to subscribe. We're going to definitely be making a lot more content like this in the future, and we got some cool modifications coming up pretty soon, hopefully. So yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
One, two, three, and 2 to 4. Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door. Ready to make an entrance so back.
Cause you know we about to fuck shit.